Hi, my name is Tom Pickering. I'd like to share some thoughts because I think we're on a trajectory either to really get things right or a collision course to hell. And I think we can see this on many fronts: situation in Ukraine, Russia, rising China, sustainability. It's just endless. So what I want to do is to share some genuine solutions to this to get back on track immediately. Um, and the crux of this is really the best way to predict the future is to create it. And what does that mean? It means getting to grips with the existing situation, what's driving you, and then taking actions immediately, and then becoming aware of the dialogue to steer the ship in the right direction. My background is I resolve impossible problems. Why are they impossible? Because most people fix the wrong problem. Becoming aware of the thinking is what drives us. As a result, won lots of awards: CEO of the Year 2018, MBA Masterclass leader, UK's top corporate turnaround specialist, transforming over 200 businesses. And what I'll do is I'll share a little bit of insight in the next few minutes on the common denominators from these learnings as well. So two sides of this. One is profit, which is being able to see round corners. And what are the tools and experience to see that and realise that? And secondly, profit, as in making money, which is around taking the right actions and being confident about what you're doing and making money. Making money is critical because it creates time. Without money, you're in real trouble. This is all around the thinking. It's around the ideas, the insights, inspiration, data. It's also about sharing case studies and to get our purpose and our thinking right and aligned. So here's some insight into some of the specifics which may resonate in terms of, we call it the 10 deadly CEO's sins. So the first one is pride. I am right. This is the worst place to be because it's about acknowledging that you cannot move forward, so you're stuck. And the challenge with this is switching to humility and the ability to let go. The second thing is around greed and domination, which has dominated MBA programs for the last 40 years with huge consequences around sustainability and digital trashing markets, etc. And shifting to profit and relationships being the basis for successful business. Second thing is around labels and lazy thinking. So labeling things you don't agree with immediately as being negative or something like this. And then becoming aware of the drivers and becoming self-aware of how our dialogue actually drives us and or creates blind spots. Selfishness and self-righteousness, shifting to deeply valuing others. Anger and stress, move into realigning your actions and your beliefs by becoming and discovering yourself and giving others grace, and by aligning your actions and your beliefs, that creates grit, which is a fantastic trait for seeing through difficult problems. The other challenge is unintended consequences, which is around, in an effort to redefine some of the things that have worked for years, and with interesting ethical outcomes which need to be corrected. The answer to this, oddly, is giving people freedom. People tend to operate a lot better with freedom rather than control. The other thing is become prevalent is around the victim status, blaming other people, not taking ownership or blaming external circumstances, when the answer is to become accountable and find the courage to take new action. Because the thing about envy and victimhood is it's all around blame and it's not about taking new action. It's also humorless as well. Humour is a very important thing in business. Not thinking and caring. The critical thing is if something doesn't seem right, then having the courage to stick your hand up. In so doing, then promotes critical thinking. And when people are critical thinking, they become passionate about what they're doing. And that's a good place to be. Well-intended fads. So this is really around just really becoming aware of fads, but the crux of this really is acknowledging and valuing difference of opinions. So things like diversity actually has exactly the opposite effect, the actions that have been taken, when in fact that simple acknowledging people and valuing different views is absolutely critical. Fragility and self-righteousness, this thing around that I'm right, you're wrong, and what does good look like? It's about actually almost acknowledging our brokenness and that we're highly reliant on other people. That's a huge weight off your mind as well. As a leader, I remember that in my early career, expecting that I had to know the answer to all the problems. So the challenge is all around us. The winter is coming. Talked about Ukraine, talked about the utter complexity of what we're facing. We talked about blindness, some of the mantras that create blind spots. Talked a bit about victimhood, and also the losing control to things like parasitic technology. Really vital to get to grips with technology, that the drivers of crypto, the drivers of the metaverse, what's behind this, identify the thinking, because the thinking is really important to understand, and without which a lot of organisations are getting duped by fads which are destroying their businesses. So humility is the new black, which is all around putting other people first. The Winning Thinking program is really a crash course in humility, and it's around discovering yourself, and from that true self-worth of yourself and others, which creates personal security and confidence. Because if you don't know yourself, if you take a hit, then you're really not in a good place. So winning thinking is really a sort of moral psychology. It's not a prescriptive set of tools by any means. It's just about becoming aware of a number of different tools that enable you to do the right thing at the right time with the right people, and also acknowledging that you're flawed. So it's operating very well in an imperfect environment and life that we live. Again, coming back, profitability. What does that mean? It's a sort of double entendre. What lights me up personally is creating intimate, high-performance relationships between people, operating in an open, honest way that allows people to become the best version of themselves and stay there, and raise the bar, continuously raise the bar by becoming more aware of what's holding organisations back and how to drive things forwards and what's stopping progress. So there's a great opportunity to hit the company reset button. Winning thinking defrags your business. It breaks up the elements into the right pieces and sort of puts it back together in a very constructive way by taking new action. It shines a light into these things and makes people aware of these things and find their own way through it. In no way is it prescriptive. So winning thinking is the crux of this. This is what's behind it. It's the basis, the learning from 600 company turnarounds. And we share this content in a experiential learning environment, either online with leaders working in small groups, actioning, taking new action, realising this stuff for themselves, and or leadership teams. We go to Ashridge Business School typically, although we can run it anywhere. Off-site is great, gets people away, and what it does is defrags the entire leadership team, makes the leadership team completely aware of their dialogue, what's holding them back, resetting relationships, open up blind spots, enabling people to become themselves and actually take the action to realise this there and then. This is not a rehearsal, this is about immediate action, because as a company turnaround specialist, I am all about taking immediate action, and we'll facilitate this. It's good fun, it's good laugh as well. So in a nutshell, hard results plus the soft skills or the underlying thinking means you're fixing and finding the right problem at the right time to create cash flow. That's the crux, as well as having fun and having some humour and getting the humanity back into businesses, and frankly putting the colour back into people's cheeks, because let's face it, it's been a difficult time over the last few years. If this sounds of interest, give me a shout. I'll organise this. I'm passionate about driving this forwards, because in one day you can reset your business and I can clear off and do something else, and that's the best way for me to deliver value, and it's the best way for you to just completely restart and kickstart your business to the next level of performance immediately, and immediately action it. So not a rehearsal, great fun. Look forward to meeting you guys. Drop me a note if this sounds of interest. Cheers, bye.